Via Daniel RPK, they say Sony has canceled all of its planned live action Spider Man spin offs. Everybody just clap, 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 clap. Just, I wish I had like hallelujah music or something. Do I have any kind of like hallelujah music? Because I tell you what, like, man, I just, what is this? Love music? Does this work? Does it work? Just anything. Like, this is the most amazing thing that we could ever hear. I'm not even kidding. Like, the fact of the matter is, the Sony Spider-Verse without Spider-Man was the worst idea in the history of franchise universe IPs that anybody was trying to do. I don't care what anybody says. Those Venom movies were atrocious. Atrocious. I would much rather watch the fantastic fan-tastic movie over watching those Venom movies. And I don't care what anybody says. That first Venom movie is terrible. It is terrible in any way, shape, or form. There are so many issues with that movie, and everybody just looks past it. Why? Because it's Venom. But it's a terrible movie. There are so many story issues with that movie. I can't stand it. I can't. I hate it. I can't stand it. Anyways, then you had Madam Web. You had that terrible movie. You had Craven, which, oh man, Craven, and then Morbius, like, movie after movie after movie was just utter trash. Utter trash. Like, the fact that they tried and they just kept trying, kept trying. I guess you give them an A for effort. Like, hey, good job. Like, hey, at least you kept trying, but I don't know what you're doing. Like, yeah. But honestly, like, what was the one thing that everybody wanted? Just give us Spider-Man in this stuff. If you give us Spider-Man, then we'll be happy. Give us Spider. It doesn't need to be Tom Holland Spider-Man. It could have been any Spider-Man. You could have brought Andrew Garfield back. You could have made another Spider-Man. You could have done anything, and people would have been happy to have these films and maybe have a connected universe with a Spider-Man. But they never did it. They just kept pushing forward, trying to make this universe with Spider-Man villains without Spider-Man. It made no sense because there was never any kind of like thorough line that was like, hey, this is where it could be leading, or hey, this is what it could do, or hey, maybe there's this. Oh, wait, no, in the last Venom movie, they had Null. Oh, what are we going to do there? But then they were like, but there's no more Venom. Well, that's the whole point of Null. Like, the whole point of Null is you have to have that. And then they're like, no, but we're not making any more Venom movies. It was just so ridiculous. Like, everything that they did with this franchise that they were doing was ridiculous. It made no. What was it? The end of Morbius? They're like, oh, here's Michael Keaton's Vulture. What? Wait, what? Huh? How? Why? Where did he come from? Why is he there? It was like none of it made sense ever. So if they truly are, if this is not just a rumor, if they truly have canceled this planned live action Spider-Man thing, bravo, Sony. You're making a smart move. Now, I know that there's some people who sit here and think like, oh, this is them lining up to sell the rights back to Marvel Studios. No, they're not going to do that. That would just be dumb of them to do. There is way too much money for Sony to make in holding on to the Spider-Man IP and doing what they're doing with Marvel. Way too much money. I mean, for the longevity. Like, there's way too much money. So they're not going to do that. Unless Marvel was like, here's $4 or $5 billion, which they're not going to pay for Spider-Man. They're not going to do that. So essentially, what I think is probably going to happen is they're going to scrap all this. They're going to do probably the next few Spider-Man things with Marvel. And they may now include Spider-Man and kind of rebuild a Spider-Man universe with Spider-Man. At least I would hope that's what they do. And I don't see why they don't just say, you know what? Let's double dip. Let's double dip. There's no reason why they can't double dip. You know what? Let's make a deal with Marvel Studios. Here's Tom Holland, Spider-Man. Have him. You can use him as much as you want, and we make our money. We'll pay to make it whatever. But we're gonna make our Spider-Man movies over here, and we're gonna do our thing with Spider-Man and his villains over here. That's not connected to the MCU. And we're gonna do our own thing. It's gonna be completely different than what you're doing, but we're gonna do our own thing. Why the hell not? Double dip. You have the right, Sony, to do that. You have the ability to do that. If Marvel doesn't want to agree to a deal to have Spider-Man and you do that, then their loss. But why not? Why not give it a shot? But I think this is just the greatest thing, if this is actually happening, to happen to franchise and IPs in such a long time, to just put this thing to rest, to just kill it dead. It's done. Kick it to the curb, whatever you want to say. Throw it in the dumpster. It's done, thankfully. Thankfully. Let me know your thoughts, though, about all this in the comments. I'd love to hear what you have to say. I know some of you are going to be like, well, I love the Venom movies. I don't care. Venom movies were trash. All of them. All three of them were trash. Not a single good thing came out of those Venom movies. Nothing. Not a single thing. And maybe a controversial take. Some of you may not like me saying that, but I don't care. They're all trash. And then there's no defending any other one of those movies. Madam Web, Craven, Morbius, any of them. You can't defend those movies. It's not possible. It's not possible. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below.